Afternoon, guys. This is another podcast, and this one's surviving modernity. If you know what modernity is, it's roughly the modern society we're dealing with. First point, recognizing the reality without letting it consume you. The reality is they keep trying to change things and manipulate things to suit whatever agenda it is this week. I'm not going to get too into it's a women's way of thinking often. Have the cake and eat it, changing minds, not 100% where they're going. But the reality is we're on a path that will continue to be nagging away at us in the hope that they get everything they want. But they also don't know what they want. So you're not crazy. It's real. But don't let the fear of it be your compass and your direction. In other words, don't overinvest your time in it by getting annoyed, irritated, etc. Where your focus should be on the stuff that you can do. Recognize the noise they're trying to create, recognize the propaganda, but don't get sucked into it and waste your time on it. Point 2, secure the basics. Skills over certificates. Thankfully, part of this modernity is they've destroyed the education system. They've created everyone gets a certificate, everyone gets a badge, everyone's the girl boss, that everyone's in charge. But the problem they've got is they've made a massive gap for the people that actually do the work. Reality is, as somebody with real skills and the ability to actually do stuff instead of the phrase they often use is we're thinkers. We're thinkers, they're doers, as if there's some hierarchy. The reality is they're not even the thinkers, because if they were the thinkers, they'd be the creators, and what they're doing isn't creating anything except for chaos. So having real skills has high value. Getting skills that are going to be valued through the next 40 years are worth doing. Becoming a good builder, worth doing. An electrician, worth doing. Whatever the trade is, there is money in it. And the good thing is, these skills can often be taken offline. Another reason why I'm not a fan of digital payments, because let's face it, guys, if you're coming around my house to work on my conservatory at the weekend, I don't want to pay tax on it. I already paid tax when I got paid. And I don't want to be paying you tax so that you get taxed as well. So I'll quite happily do cash in hand. And it's a naughty thing to say that these days, but reality is I don't see any problems with it. Another part of this is having cash buffers and multiple currencies. Things are going through some turbulent times now. We're at a pinnacle point coming up where we're not sure where the country's going to go. When I say country, is it countries? I'd say at the moment Europe. I can see the US will hopefully stabilize its economy, which also has a ripple effect for everybody else. But at the same time, those changes have to happen. And people keep pretending that there was never a problem and that Trump's a bad man. All the nonsense, when in reality they were bankrupt in the US. Not Trump, not Musk, the people that have been robbing it blind for years with their propaganda, their agendas, and not working in the best interests of the US people. The UK is still riddled with it. Canada is nearly at the turning point of actually swinging that pendulum back. But the point is, you need to be able to have a cash flow that's easy to get hold of, liquidity, so that you can cash out, and possibly things like precious metals in a real form. Something that can hold value, gain value, and often without it being taxed because it's in a physical form. Next one is housing security. In the current climate, do you rent or do you buy? My view is we're in a shifting environment, so I would advise being very careful on what you do that's going to have repercussions for a long term. For example, if the UK goes through with this piece of influx in the UK with illegals into all the hired sector, we're going to see rent increases across the board. It's just going to happen, bizarrely, when you shove a few million people into it. Then once they get status, they bring dependence and put a bigger strain on it, which is just going to collapse the economy long term. So My view on it, the flexibility of being portable and not bought into a mortgage is the advantage. I can disappear to Spain at any time. I could wrap up my location here and go to Spain and start to look at going out to Dubai or somewhere else and riding this out. That's the whole point of having a look at housing security. What does it mean? What can you do? How do you ride the problems out? Don't whinge about it. Work on what you're going to do about it. Maybe a case of you think, I'll buy a small farm in Spain, middle of nowhere, some rundown place that's cheap, and then live out your years there. There is always something you can do. Next one is food and supply chain awareness, local resourcing and independence. I've started to buy more stuff locally, but I also recognize the amount of poisons, and I'm going to say poisons because it gets the point across, that is in the food. I had some bottled water earlier that's got 15 ingredients in it. It's water. What are they putting into my water? I just want water and some lemon put in the top. In Spain, got access to both without having all the toxic crap that they seem to love putting in everything in the UK. It's why I'm more likely to go to Lidl and Aldi than Tesco's, Sainsbury's or others, simply because I'm finding that the quality is often better. So be aware of what you're eating, be aware how it's sourced, where it comes from, because it does make a difference, especially when you're trying to get fit, because if there's a lot of crap in it, your body's got to work twice as hard to get rid of it. Point 3, mental sovereignty. Cut the media noise down to a minimum. This also means left or right, try and avoid it. What you just need to know is roughly what's going on today. You don't need to waste a lot of time on it. You don't need to get riled up with it. You don't need things that are disrupting you or frustrating you or causing stress, anxiety or whatever. You don't need that. Your focus needs to be on what you're going to do next, the positive stuff, getting in the right mindset, getting in the right frame, doing something in a positive way. So make sure you cut the media noise out as much as possible. Guard your mind like your home. This is another paramount one, is treat everything the same. You don't want that in your house. You don't want the what you want in your house is a sanctuary, your place that is your space, the place where you can come back to, your solitude, your place where it's your space. Your mind needs to be in a similar state. If you've got stuff that's winding you up, creating issues, look at what you can filter out and get rid of it. Next one is discipline routines, fitness, reading, learning. These are 3 critical ones that you need to keep at. You may get bored, you may be tired of it, you may not want to do it, but it's those days where you just got to drag yourself up and keep going, because the average person gives up. We're not giving up. Spend time, go to the gym, get yourself out there 4 times a week, reading an hour a night before bed, do it every day, and learning. This is your skills, this is your direction, this is your future. They're all important. You've got to work on it to get ahead of the game. Part 4, avoiding the drag down. Don't engage with dead weight. This is people, this is media, this is a constant griping, moaning society. Pull yourself out of it as much as possible. You don't need to be involved in it. You're not fixing it. You're not healing the world. You're not the Messiah. You've got your own stuff to deal with, and all this stuff that's around you, you're not fixing it. You can't fix it because most of it is not your problems and you didn't create it. So don't get sucked into it. Protect your time, focus, and family unit. It is critical that you need to look after yourself. When you say protect time, it's about not sitting in front of the TV watching stuff when there's nothing to watch. It's not sitting on the Xbox for 12 hours. It's useless. You do not need to be on that Xbox that long. You've got other things to be doing. You also need to get your focus back. A lot of the stuff on the scrolling and stuff is hitting for cheap dopamine. It is not good for you. The same as playing on the Xbox. The same as doing this stuff that has low dopamine value. Getting your trade is high dopamine value. Getting your certificates when you graduate from university with a degree that's worth something is high value. Being able to fix your car or do something that's an achievement is high dopamine value. Recognize the differences and cut the crap ones out because they're sucking the life out of you. Your family unit is the most important unit in your lifetime. You need to look after them, they need to look after you. You function as one. One of the things I recognized a long time ago, and it's why my family unit is very strong with my wife and kids, is we function as one. My kids are not going to leave home. My kids will always be there. Not because they're going to have to live in our house. I will buy the house next door. We're already talking about buying a farm. The whole thing in this society that is wrong at the moment is it's splintered. People are working all over the place. People have moved away from their communities. People have become disenfranchised, franchised. They have lost their way. You need to get back to the path, the root, which is the fundamental family unit, your ethics, your morals, your standards, your basic human rights to be a good human being without people telling you how to live. The family unit is the basis of everything because you need to pass down your history, where you come from, what real life is about. The stuff that's going on in the education system at the moment is pollutant, it's poison, it's low value. We need to change it back. This is an important one, guys. Learn the art of opting out from narratives, from noise and distractions. I don't go to the company Christmas parties. I don't go to the away days. I don't go to anything that is outside of my pay scale. Why? Because quite simply, it's low value. I'm not climbing the greasy pole of the corporate world. I'm here to do a certain job. I'm doing that job. And outside my working time, it's my time. I'm not interested in making anybody feel good because I've turned up so they can clap and make themselves a celebration. I'm here to do my job and that's it. The same as other people using your time. People that turn up at your house or whatever it is because they've got nothing better to do. They're wasting your time. Unless they're a very close and good friend and there's a reason behind it, you need to filter some of this noise out. Also the same with distractions. Distractions can be good and bad. It could be that you're busy studying and your best mate's trying to get you going windsurfing for the day. You got to look at it and see which is important for that day. Because to be fair, they're both good, they're both important, and at the same time, it's whatever is the highest value. But it also means if it's going to, say, the pub on a Friday night, and yet you've got a paper in from Monday and you haven't studied, guess what? You're not going to the pub tonight. And you need to focus on what's important because you can go to the pub afterwards. Once you've done your college stuff, you can get through there. Discipline. Focus on what's necessary. Part 5. Long-term vision. How do you want to live from 5 years from now? Because a lot of the focus we've got currently is telling you what's wrong with the world. It's not telling you what's right. It's not telling you where to go. It's not telling you what to achieve. It's not telling you where your path is. Create your path. Create your direction. I don't want to hear, oh, the houses are too expensive for people that are, under whatever age. I'm not interested. Do you know why? Because a lot of that stuff has been regurgitated so many times over the years. The reality is you don't have to end up living in the UK. You could do a house share. You could buy a house and rent 3 rooms and live in the sitting room. There is ways to make it happen. The answer to the question is making it happen. But it starts with your 5-year plan of where do you want to be? How are you going to achieve it becomes the next part. Next question. Where will you be safest, happiest, and most free? This is probably a complex one. And for me, the answer to that is Spain. With my family, with my kids, the family unit as a whole. Can say the same about the Philippines. I've got 2 fantastic locations with fantastic people around me. Reality is, The safety in both countries is good. I know people say Philippines can be a bit Wild West, but I've got a lot of family and we are quite good at looking after ourselves. In both countries, very happy. And freedom, both very good. I'm not going to gripe about the UK, but I will say it's on a downward spiral and it's definitely not the most forward-thinking place on the planet at the moment. And the Latin quote for today: premonitos, premonitos, which is basically forewarned is forearmed. So it's be prepared, move forward, look after yourself, and keep going.